right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
If you know you have food, you can go to your doctor, you can go to your dentist. You don't have to worry about that meal. We just make sure that you have food and your belly's full so you can take care of yourself.
Feeding the community. How Pride St. Louis made sure no one went hungry or alone this Thanksgiving.
Well, we got through the Thanksgiving holiday very nicely, but we're looking ahead to Saturday night snow in Kansas and Missouri. What this system does for us overnight and if it's going to impact your travel plans.
But first, some local faces in the national spotlight.
When we got invited to this, it was such an honor and almost unbelievable that we were chosen.
The O'Fallon, Illinois Marching Band makes it to the Big Apple and the big screen.
A very good evening to you. I'm Brent Solomon. A Metro East High School band shines in the national spotlight. The O'Fallon Township High School Marching Band was featured today in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Our Laura Bercheski caught up with them right after the performance.
Brent, this moment was well over a year in the making, and it was truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the O'Fallon Marching Band and their families.
From Illinois, let's welcome the O'Fallon Township High School Marching Panthers back to the parade. They were here 31 years ago in 1992.
Roughly 290 O'Fallon students, staff, and their families traveled nearly 1,000 miles to march in the 97th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
We're really honored to be in it. We know it's such a special performance that not every high school student gets to be a part of.
For Drumline senior Devin Aiello, it's an even more special way to end a successful final season as a Panther.
I'm really proud because it took a lot of work, and ever since COVID, it was just like you started from almost like ground zero and like you had to work your way up.
His sister, who's a freshman, is also part of the color guard, and their mom, Vicky, says these are memories they'll cherish.
We've been up since 4 a.m. Got out on the streets about 5:30, but it was so worth it to see the kids march down the street, not only mine, but the 290 some other marching Panthers that I kind of call my kids too.
They marched for 2.5 miles, playing tunes to fit the holiday theme they chose, and they wrapped it all up with a special song arranged just for them.
Our message is about joy to the world. And so we combined Ode to Joy, which everybody knows, with joy to the world. And then we spelled out joy at the end using parts of a wreath as the O and then a J and a Y to represent joy to everyone out there on this wonderful Thanksgiving Day.
The O was also a nod to the entire O'Fallon community and beyond.
The O represents unity as well. You know, if you think about the shape of that, it's a shape that brings togetherness. And that's what today is all about.
The O'Fallon Panthers will be making their way back to Illinois on Friday, just in time for one of their last performances of the year at the O'Fallon Illuminated Holiday Parade.
All right, Laura, thanks. We wish them safe travels. Well, throughout our area today, groups brought people together to have a free Thanksgiving meal. Afton Christian Church offering meals for people who just wanted to be with others for the holiday. Today, they served around 400 meals. And over in Lee, more of the goodwill continued at the Gethsemane Lutheran Church. Folks gathered in the gymnasium there for a day of unity. Guests were even treated to some live music. Over in downtown St. Louis, the House of Soul gave out more than just food today. At their 6th annual Thanksgiving feast, organizers helped serve more than 400 people by giving them winter clothes and even haircuts as well. This year's event was especially important to House of Soul owner Nicole Stevenson. She was recently diagnosed with cancer. As she fights it, she's determined to give back.
I focused on today. If I could make it to today, I'll be okay. And I am full of joy and full of happiness that this is something that we will continue to do.
House of Soul is hosting another event just like this one next month. It will be on Christmas Day from 12 until 3 p.m. For nearly 2 decades now, Pride St. Louis has continued its effort to make sure no one goes hungry on the holiday. 5 on Your Side's Diamond Palmer takes us to today's event.
Pride groups across St. Louis have gathered here at St. Paul's Episcopal Church to make sure nobody goes hungry this Thanksgiving, and it takes over 40 volunteers.
We did 300 meals last year. We're going to do 300 meals this year. This is our 18th year of doing this.
For 18 years, Jordan Braxton with Pride St. Louis and various community partners have hosted Feeding the Community. Braxton says no matter your sexuality, you're welcomed and will be loved inside of the doors of St. Paul's. She says people in the Pride community suffer this time of year.
Unfortunately, people in the LGBTQIA plus community, they can't go home for Thanksgiving, or you might be transitioning. Your family has those questions they want to ask you that are not really relevant to anything. So we just do this so that people in the community know that they don't have to be alone on Thanksgiving.
Here you go. The inspiration for this event came from Braxton's mother. And whether you're dining in or getting these meals delivered, people will have something warm on their belly this evening. She says over the years, it's overwhelming to see the community's support.
Especially with all the hateful rhetoric that's out there, all the anti-LGBT laws are being passed. This is just a moment and time for us to get together and support one another and show some love.
Braxton's fight for the Pride community will never end, she says.
And I'll be damned if I'm going to leave Missouri over some laws. That's why I fight. I go to Jefferson City.
Braxton says in December there will be another holiday meal for people that don't have the means. Reporting in St. Louis, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
And Pride STL's December community meal will also happen on Christmas Day. Well, we made it through a beautiful Thanksgiving today, but there is some possible snow on the horizon. Here's meteorologist Gary Frank with your Weather First forecast.
Yeah, well, putting it that way, yeah, snowflakes falling absolutely out west, and that's the time of the year that we're transitioning. As far as a big impact, let's hold off on that because temperatures are going to stay way above freezing. But when we start to see, these decorations, it feels like it's a little bit cooler, like it should be. It's just we're having a hard time getting anything fall to the surface, rain, snow, sleet, whatever it may be. So it's going to be a minute. We can start to see it starting to work its way in here as we look in South Dakota. And it's going to be a pretty good snowstorm in central Kansas. So if you're driving back across I-70, maybe to Denver or something like that, Saturday into Sunday, that's where you're really going to be impacted. But right now, it's pretty quiet. We're starting to see clouds increase, but they're not going to hold our temperatures all that much. We've already fallen in the mid-30s here. Troy, Edwardsville, Lake St. Louis, and O'Fallon, you're in the 30s already. We're going to continue to fall a little bit more. And for tomorrow, it's a chilly start, but it's cooler in the afternoon. It's 45 degrees. But then we're going to look ahead to that system. As it inches ever closer, how does it impact us? Your travel areas that are most focused on, whether you're driving or flying, and what it means for us as we head into this weekend.
All right, Gary, we'll see you in a bit. This evening, firefighters responded to flames going through the roof of a Maryland Heights apartment complex. This was the scene on Silent Spring Drive near I-270 in Dorset. The call came in just before 8 tonight. Crews from Creve Coeur arriving to help put that fire out. It was under control in about an hour. No word yet on how it started. A Jefferson County man pleads guilty to his connection to the January 6th Capitol riots. Eric Glenn Harrower pled guilty to charges of parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. In exchange for his guilty plea, prosecutors dropped 3 other charges. Harrower's sentencing is set for February. He's facing 6 months in prison, 5 years probation, and a $5,000 fine. The city of St. Louis facing a lawsuit for the wrongful death of a detainee at the City Justice Center back in 2020. According to the lawsuit, Kevin Cavins was suffering extreme pain from a recent injury and opioid withdrawals. His sister claims he was never referred to the jail's doctor. He died 33 days after being detained. The lawsuit comes less than a week after the St. Louis Board of Aldermen made it possible for city jail guards to file anonymous complaints to try to prevent situations like this.
This Board of Aldermen also agrees that it's bigger than just lawsuits. We're losing life. Yes, jail is not a place of luxury, but there's been, like I said, 10 people killed in the jail. That's why this Board of Aldermen passed that board bill overwhelmingly.
Since Cavin's death, 10 more detainees have died behind bars at the City Justice Center. A trial date now set in the crash that caused Janae Edmondson to lose both of her legs. The teen was visiting St. Louis for a volleyball tournament. A car hit her while she was walking downtown. Well, now a jury has scheduled the case to go to trial at the end of January. Earlier today, Janae's mother gave an update. She says she's thankful to God for saving the teenager that day. Israel and Hamas are pausing the conflict in Gaza to exchange hostages and prisoners. This will happen at 7 a.m. local time. The pause will last for 4 days. Groups of 10 will be released each day. The first group of 13 people released will be families of women and children. The Red Cross will be allowed to assess other hostages to get them medical help. At the same time, Israel will also release 3 Palestinians held captive for every Israeli hostage let go. The deal was brokered by Qatar, which hopes this will be the beginning of a longer truce. And in support of those hostages, some in our area took to the streets. Participants in Olivet's annual Turkey Trot joined the 5K run to spread awareness for the war. The words "Run for Their Lives" was on their shirts, and they held signs with photos of people who are held captive by Hamas. One runner says he wants people to remember that families are still separated.
We're here in support of all the hostages that are held in Gaza. We want to make sure that nobody forgets about them. It's been almost 7 weeks and they need to come home. Hopefully, to celebrate their holidays with their family.
Proceeds from the Turkey Trot go to the Harvey Kornblum Jewish Food Pantry. You can get the very latest updates on the war and those impacted by texting Israel to 314-425-5355.
I think the important thing right now is to not panic.
Puppies getting sick. What you should know about a new respiratory illness found in dogs.
The holiday and most of the last few days have been very dry. Our drought monitor says that there are even parts of our area in a severe drought. If the precipitation we're getting this weekend will impact that as we close out the month of November and if December looks any more wet.